Elbert. Originally, I'm from New York. I went into the service in New York. And we moved out here to Ohio in August of '97. And I'm retired. You know, just going to the VA. My daughter went to Crestview High School, and she went to Kent State for 2.5 years.
Now, what brought you into, what made you want to join the United States Marine Corps in New York?
Well, my name was coming up for the draft, and I tried to get into the National Guard, but they had a list as long as your arm. And I figured if I enlisted instead of getting drafted, I wouldn't be sent to Vietnam so soon. And the Marine Corps recruiter lied to me. I was taking aviation mechanics, and he said when I come in, I could go to school and be a helicopter mechanic. So I went in October '66, went through 8 weeks of boot camp, 6 weeks of advanced training. During the advanced training, they were picking guys out for Force Recon. And it didn't matter. He just went down the line. He said, you, and you. You know, you're joining Recon. Well, we had to go through 6 weeks of advanced infantry training at Camp Lejeune, North Carolina. And about 2 weeks in, they started picking out, you know, the guys to go to recon school. And all they did was just go down the line. They just started picking people out. Either they liked them or they disliked them. And I don't know, they picked up about 20 out of a platoon of 75, I guess. And when they did that, after we finished advanced infantry training, we went to recon school. We had to go to jump school, map reading, and mountain climbing school we went to. And that took a little over a year. We went to Vietnam in January 1968, got over there January 12th. They had the Tet Offensive. I think that was like 25th of January. I was up in Way at that time with the 5th Marines, and when they first struck, there had to be 8,000 North Vietnamese that came through Way, and it took us a little over 5 months to clear them out of Way. We were doing house to house and everything. And then after that, they just sent us where they needed us. We did recon missions along the Ho Chi Minh Trail, both in Cambodia and Laos. We're in and out of both countries a lot. We did recon along the DMZ. We did it for Khe Sanh before they got hit.
What did this young Marine back in 1968 look like?
I don't know if you want to see that picture. Well, this is 1973.
That's 73, okay.
I don't know. I had pictures of me in boot camp, but
How did he feel? How did you feel? At
I
that
was
age?
I was gung ho. I enlisted to go to Vietnam, and they just took their time before they sent us over there. It wasn't for the training that we went through. There was 3 other guys that were captured with me. That was my recon team, and it wasn't for the training that we went through. I don't think none of us would have came back.
Could you take me to that time of that capture? Where were you when this took place?
Well, we're about 12 miles into Laos. We're doing a recon mission along the Ho Chi Minh Trail, looking for signs of North Vietnamese coming down into South Vietnam. And this was the 3rd day we were out. It was about 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning. We were waiting to be picked up. And I forgot what infantry unit it was. I think it was the 538th North Vietnamese infantry that came through. There was like 5 or 6 guys, North Vietnamese. They didn't even know we were there. They walked up on us. There was my team and another recon team about a quarter mile away from us, and we took out the first 4 or 5 Vietnamese. So we decided to split the 2 teams up, so while 8 of us wouldn't get captured. They went southwest, we went southeast. We got one radio call out, and to be picked up at another pickup point. And our radio got shut out on us, and that was like, I don't know, 6, 7 miles away from where we got hit by North Vietnamese. We got to the hill, and there was nothing but North Vietnamese all around the area. So we started going southwest to go around the North Vietnamese. We made it back into Quang Tri, North Vietnam, and we got about 12, 15 miles away from the fire base, and we ran into a Viet Cong ambush. They were waiting for us. There had to be 30, 40 of them. There was 4 of us. We were low on ammo. If we had 7 rounds apiece, that was a lot. And it was either giving up or being killed.
So they were able to capture you.
Yeah.
And they took you to another camp, and that's how this
Well,
was?
they took the 4 of us to, I guess it was an interrogation camp. They kept us there for about 2 days. Then they split the 4 of us up. They took us to different interrogation camps. That was towards the end of August. I got captured August 16th. The 4 of us got to the first P.O.W. camp around 7th, 8th of September. When we got there, with 4 of us, there was 23 Americans at the camp. Between September of '68 and January of '69, we lost 6 Americans. They died from wounds when they were captured. There was a couple that just gave up. They just stopped eating.
When they brought you into the POW camp, Did they tell you about this, or did you hear about this, or did you witness the loss of these fellow soldiers?
Well, I helped bury, but because the farmers was stronger than the guys over there, because some of them been there for 8, 9 months. I think there was 1 or 2 there over a year, and because the 4 of us were the strongest, we helped bury most of them.
Now, when they got you to this POW camp, what was the job? Did they want information from you? Did they want to hold you for negotiation purposes?
Well, at the interrogation camps, before we got to the POW camp, you know, they tried to make us talk. You know, all 4 of us were, you know, tortured and that. When we got to the, I escaped 3 times. I was captured maybe a day and a half, 2 days. I got away for, I don't know, about 45 minutes or an hour, and they caught up with me. 3 days later, I took off again. You know, I was only doing what we were taught.
They couldn't have been too happy with that.
No. Well, the first time they just threatened me. They said they could just take me out in the jungle and shoot me. Nobody would know. The second time, they beat on me for, you know, a while. The third time I got away, I thought I had it made. I was gone like 5 hours before they caught up with me. And they got me back to the interrogation camp. And a couple of days later, when they took me to the first P.O.W. camp, they had me with the other guys for, I don't know, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. In that 2 or 3 weeks, we had 2 other Americans die in that 3 weeks. And then after that, because I escaped, they threw me into a tiger cage for almost 7 months. But whenever, you know, one of the other Americans die, you know, they had me get out and, you know, help bury them.
Now, how did you make it through all those months in that tiger cage?
I was planning my 4th escape. I don't know. I was stubborn. I used to harass the gods, you know. But I was planning my 4th escape if I got out of there. And then towards the end of that 7 months, I came down with a bad case of malaria. And that kind of took the wind out of me for a while. If I got over that, I was still planning my next escape. But they had the guards watching me whenever we went out to go out and get firewood or manioc. Manioc is like it's a root. It's like a potato. And you know, we used to eat manioc and rice most of the time.
You were moved to 6 different camps during the time of your internment with them.
Well, from September '68 until when did they moved? They moved us up. They walked us up to North Vietnam. That had to be spring of '70. It took us 3 months because they walked us through along the Ho Chi Minh Trail in Cambodia and Laos. But it took us 3 months to get up to North Vietnam. And they had, trucks and that waiting for us to take us up to Hanoi. I was at the plantation. We were about 5 or 6 miles away from the Hilton, where the pilots and most of the officers were kept.
What day were you freed?
After the Paris peace talks and that, I came home starting in February, they started sending home the sickest POWs, and the longest ones.
And which year was this? 73?
That was February or March of 73. Well, February 73. I came home March 16th of 73.
What did it feel like when you got the news about the peace talks and that there was a possibility?
We thought it was just, they used to bring the radio into the warehouse rooms that they had us in, and we just thought most of it was just propaganda. The day we were supposed to leave, they had like 50, 60 of us on the bus, and they took us to the Hanoi airport. We were supposed to leave like 9 o'clock that morning. We got to the airport quarter after 8:30. We sat on that bus from 8:30 in the morning until 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Then, for some reason, they decided to take us back to the plantation, and we stayed there for another 3 hours. So we didn't think we were going home, and around 4 o'clock they took us back to the airport, and after they turned us over to the U.S. military that was there. None of us didn't believe until we actually got onto the plane that, we were finally getting out of there, coming home.
Take me to that moment. When you finally got onto that plane, you passed a U.S. military presence there and stepped foot onto a plane.
And we were all excited, talking about, getting home and, seeing the family and that, and, the first thing we were going to eat, the first car we were going to buy, They gave us all dollar bills when we got onto the plane. They were passed around to the other POWs. Everybody signed each other bill. And they took us from Hanoi to the Philippines, to Manila. They got us to a Navy hospital. They checked us out and everything. When they weighed us, I was 185 when I got captured. 185, 187. When they weighed me at the hospital in Manila, I was 118. But when we got to the hospital in Manila, they told us they took us into a auditorium at the hospital. They were talking to us about what's going to happen and everything. And they told us there that whatever we wanted, they would get even if they had to fly it in. I think the first meal I had at the hospital, most of us had steak or, fries. Some had hamburgers, shakes. But we were there. They kept us there for like 3 days, checking us out, make sure we didn't bring any disease home that, that could spread. I got to New York. 21st of March. When I got to Kennedy Airport in New York, there was three of us, four of us, 4 P.O.Ws that came from New York. Of course, they let the officers off the plane first. And we all did a little speech, One of the officers, he knelt down, kissed the ground, But most of us did that.
Was family there waiting for you?
Yeah, both my parents, my brother, one of my sisters. My other sister didn't see me until I got into the hospital.
How long were you in the hospital?
Got there in March. I didn't get out of there. Let's see, March, April, May. Had to be towards the end of June. I was in there for like 10 weeks, 11 weeks.
What was it like getting back into this American culture you had been away from for so long?
Well, they had movies and books waiting for us, just to let us look at before we got out into the public, But they had movies of when they landed on the moon. I forgot which one that was.
Apollo 11.
Yeah. And they had, CDs of the music what we're going to hear. Most of it was so rock and roll, but they had some of the hard rock and stuff back then.
Did it feel good to get back into everything? Or were you still a little scared?
I was glad to get out of the hospital. I got out of the service in October of '73. And I was around February '74. I started doing speeches at VFW's, American Legions, different high school. And then there was the 3 other guys I was captured with, and there was 3 or 4 other vets. We decided to take a vacation. We decided going to Europe. We were only supposed to be there for 2 weeks. We ended up 6 months in Europe. We went to Sweden, Germany, Ireland, France, Paris. It was just our time. We had to get away. But instead of 2 weeks, we ended up there 6 months.
That had to be a blast. Stories better not told on camera, I'm sure.
Most of it.
Fred, we're sitting here, it's what, 38 years later now? 2011, out in 1973.
23, yeah.
And your story is still as poignant and as touching as it was the day that you were released. And we've learned so much more over all these years, and you're sitting at this table. Could you explain what the importance of it is for us to know your story and to know about the others?
This is POW MIA table. Oh. Later this afternoon, we're going to be doing this POW MIA remembrance ceremony. It says, as you enter through our door this day, you may have noticed a small table in a place of honor. It is set for one. This table is our way of symbolizing the fact that American servicemen are missing from our midst. They are commonly called POWs or MIAs. We call them brothers. They are unable to be with us this day, and so we remember them. This table, set for one, is small, symbolizing the frailty of one prisoner alone against his oppressors. Tablecloth is white, symbolizing the purity of their intention to respond to their country's call to arms. The single red rose displayed in a vase reminds us of the families and loved ones of our comrades in arms who keep the faith awaiting their return. The red ribbon tied so prominently on the vase is reminiscent of the red ribbon worn upon the lapel and breast of thousands who bear witness to their unyielding determination to demand a proper accounting of our missing. The candle is lit, symbolizing the upward reach of their unconquerable spirit. A slice of lemon is on the bread plate to remind us of their bitter fate. There is salt upon the bread plate, symbolic of the family's tears as they wait. The glass is inverted. They cannot toast with us this day. The chair is empty. They are not here. But we're trying to get back into having the public know that we still have soldiers that are missing from the Civil War, World War II, One, Two, Korea, Vietnam, and it's time our government did more to bring them back. I still think that there's a few Americans alive in Vietnam. They had French prisoners from 1954. They had them for 20 years. They didn't release them until 1974. And that's only because the French paid them money for them. And we shouldn't have to ransom American soldiers.
A question for you.
Mm-hmm.
Not from me, but for those who might be out there that might say, you served your country.
Yeah.
You were taken captive.
Mm-hmm.
All this was done to you. Was it worth serving your country?
Yeah. I did a speech at a high school in, where was that? Melville, New York, Long Island. And at the end of the speech, I, let the kids ask questions. And towards the end, one of the kids got up and they asked me if I would do it again if I had to. And I told him, yeah. I was asked that quite a few times.
I'm glad you did. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much for the interview, too. Is there anything else you'd like to say or anything, Fred?
I think I covered it all.